Vintage Backyard RC.
Hi friends, welcome to Vintage Backyard RC. Well, it's Saturday in January. I just worked a 10-hour workday after a 6-day work week, so I'm pretty exhausted. But on the way home, I've been thinking about this kit. It came in earlier in the week, and I'd really like to get it started. So I decided I'm going to start it tonight. And not only am I going to start it tonight, I'm going to try to get it done in one night, which is crazy. I wanted to do the old pre-race scramble. You know, you got your new buggy in, you got a big race the next day, and you really had to get it done that night. I'm going to try to simulate that. So that'll be fun. And then I figured if I'm going to do that, well, I got to film it so you guys can see me pull my hair out, because why not? Deal with the camera running out of memory and the lighting and the kids running around the house. Yeah, should be good. And finally I thought, well, if I'm going to do all that, I'm going to put a time limit on myself and try to get this thing done within 5 hours. Now, if I don't, I'm not going to stop. Quite frankly, I'm not even going to pay attention to what time it is. Aside from doing time checks for you guys, I'm just going to keep going. The only exceptions to the rule will be if I have to make a pit stop or get something to eat. I'm going to deduct that in the total build time of the car. And I'm not going to do the body tonight. I can't be painting at whatever o'clock at night. And I'm not going to install the engine or the motor and electronic speed control because I have that in another buggy. So that's it, guys. I've never built a Schumacher product before. I understand this buggy is a little difficult to build, so I might rage quit in the middle of this and just turn this thing into a big box of Schumacher toothpicks. If I do, you guys will see it. And that's it, man. Let's get building, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Let's get started. So how awesome is this? Every single parts bag is tagged and labeled to a corresponding step in the manual. Every single manufacturer should be doing this. It's amazing. So what time is it?
The time is 5:46 p.m.
The front suspension went together great. The only really hang-ups that I had were the weird shape of the ball cups. They were kind of hard to install. Other than that, it was easy peasy. The servo installed great. This servo saver, though, I don't really care for the design of it. It's definitely the first thing I'm going to swap out on this car. The rear went together great as well. The only thing strange for me were the suspension pin blocks are actually individually hung onto the chassis. It was something different. When it got time for the rear gearbox, I started getting excited. After all, Cecil Schumacher himself invented the ball differential for RC cars, plus I got to assemble my first off-road belt drive system. Pretty soon it was time to assemble the universal joints. I'd heard this was a challenge. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 7:38 p.m.
Alright guys, so the camera timed out and you all missed the struggle. A couple of you guys have done these U-joints. They were not fun. I did get them in. Took about 5 minutes per side. Well, maybe not 5 minutes. About 3 minutes per side. Was definitely a struggle. I got to make some room on the camera, so the time will expand a little bit here.
The time is 8:02 p.m.
Here we go. It was right about here when I realized I had 2 more universal joints to install, Oof. The little microscopic E-clips that are used for the lower upright pins, man, are they a pain. I was making really good progress, but I was starting to feel the burn. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 8:56 p.m.
Okay guys, I've been scrambling for quite a while now, and I am definitely getting tired. I'm having a hard time finding the screw holes, and definitely a hard time with the E-clips. And now it's time for the shocks. From what I understand, this is one of the harder parts of the build, so this should be exciting to see if I can get through this without messing anything up. Okay guys, so I'm pausing this because I see that I have E-clips, and there's no way that I'm going to try to squeeze E-clips into a shock. I believe I have a tool to actually put them in. Hopefully I do in the garage. Alright guys, so these are what circlip pliers look like, or C-clip pliers. Unfortunately, they're too big to fit in those little circlips for the shocks. So I'm going to try to use these pair of nippers. I think they'll squeeze in there, so let's give it a go. So what time is it?
It's 9:10 p.m.
9:10 p.m. Let's give it a shot. I know getting that C-clip in the bottom of the shock is going to be a hassle, especially if you don't have a tool for it, but the rest of the shock is very well designed. It has a nice little brass insert, quite a few sealing O-rings, they're not going to leak, and they're nice and smooth. I'm a big fan of the design. I got the shocks built. Those little nippers worked great for those C-clips. Definitely getting a little bit punchy. As you can see, I'm making a mess over there. We got the other shocks to do, and you know, we're going to keep going on. Let's check the time. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 9:28 p.m.
9:28. I'm going to take a pit stop and get back to work. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 9:32 p.m.
Back to work. So what time is it?
It's 10:17 p.m.
All right, 10:17 p.m. I'm definitely struggling. I'm definitely tired. So I have to unload my camera, though. We're out of room. So hang tight. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 10:38 p.m.
10:38 p.m. The offload from the camera took quite a while. We're going to deduct that from the build. Last we met, I was definitely struggling with these tires. I don't know why they're so hard to put on these rims, but they're impossible for me. It's probably because I'm tired. But let's get back to work. In hindsight, I should have done these tires first. I really had a hard time with them, but we got it sorted. So what time is it?
The time is 10:49 p.m.
10:49 p.m. guys. I'm definitely not doing the body tonight. I would never cut out a body or try to paint it this late at night. But we're going to wrap this up tomorrow on the deck. I am beat, and this was a challenge, and it was fun at the same time. So I'll see you in the morning. Hello and good morning. Well, I slept great last night. Got up early, had a cup of coffee, and trimmed the body out and the wing. Mounting this wing was very challenging. The crashback system, while cool and unique, is frustrating to get the little O-rings through there into the wing mount. I'm sure any of you that have built this car have gone through the same thing. Now, as of now, I have no idea if I met my little 5-hour challenge to myself. I have to go back and look at the footage and do all the times. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot 2 alternative endings, sort of like them storybooks we had when we were kids where you pick A or B and the story ends differently. That's what's going to happen right now. I don't know if I failed or if I was successful. Either way, this was a blast to build, and this car is fantastic. I can't wait to get out on the track and drive it. So let's see how I did. Stand by. Total build time was... We did it. Man, it was really hard to do, especially being tired like that after a long day's work. Some of the challenges that I had were probably the same as some of the challenges that you guys have had that have built this car. The universal joints in the back for the axles, really hard to do. Probably the biggest challenge were the little teeny E-clips on the bottom pins of the uprights. I think my friend the Og had covered that as well. The E-clips are just too small, and they probably could have gave us a few extra ones, to be honest with you. And for me, you guys aren't going to believe this, but getting these tires on these rims, man, it took forever. I don't know why. I'm going to actually measure the rim and see if they gave me a 2.1 rim by mistake, or it's just a challenge to get them on the rim. For me, that was the hardest tire rim combo I've ever had to mount. They're stretched on there a lot. So, but yeah, fantastic car. Can't wait to get out on this track and drive it. And we were successful in our challenge. That was fun, and I'm never going to do it again. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, please do so. We appreciate you all and appreciate you guys to comment down below. And I'll see you guys soon. Rock on. So total build time for the Schumacher Cougar was... Now we just missed it. Well, I'm not surprised. This car was a challenge to build. I have never built a Schumacher car before, so I was going blind. And some of the things that challenged me were the universal joints on the axles, and the uprights in the back have these little teeny E-clips that are just impossible to get on the pin. I think my friend the Og had talked about that before, and he's right. They're really hard. And the other challenge I had with the tires, man, trying to mount these tires on these rims was the hardest thing I've ever had to mount on any rim. I don't know why. I'm going to actually check the rim size to see maybe if they sent me 2.1 rims or something. I don't know. I have a feeling they're just hard to get on there. But yeah, that's it. We're done. We finished. I'm never going to do that again because towards the end, it was not fun. I was just, begging myself to go to bed. And it was fun for a video, but not fun for a hobby. So that's all, guys. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please be sure to do so. We appreciate you guys. And let's have a chat down below. Talk about this. Talk about RC. And I'll see you guys soon. Back on.